Hey, my name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to review the ART SGX T2 guitar preamplifier from the 1990s. Alright, so let's take a look at the mix. And, oh man, this was a difficult one to put together. This took me way longer than what I was anticipating, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the end. My signal path was my guitar directly into the SGX T2, and then the output of the SGX T2 directly into my Focusrite 18920, and that's it. So everything that you're hearing here is directly from the SGX, except for the bass guitar. The guitar was recorded using, I believe it is the Swept Away preset. I had to go through and just really dial things back just to get it to sit well by itself. For whatever reason, in the SGX, they crank all of the effects in the mix incredibly high, and for whatever reason, you had to kind of go back through there and say, okay, let's bring back the digital effects a little bit. Let's bring in the dry signal a little bit. But let's go ahead and take a listen to this. So I'm not sure if you heard it, but there was also a little bit of distortion in the take, and I'm not entirely sure where that was coming from. I never received any indication of clipping on my input coming into the SGX. I really think this is just something that's going on internally in the unit, and I think it's really starting to show its age. I mean, this is from early 90s. So that little bit of distortion that you heard in the clean channel, that was probably something in the SGX. Like I said, starting to show its age. All right, let's go ahead and take a listen to the rhythm guitars. Now, this is one of those areas that kind of caught me off guard. I was expecting the SGX to perform a bit better in this area, and it just, man, it fell right on its face. This is probably the worst aspect of the SGX right here. So for the dirty guitars, I used a custom preset, and going through the custom preset, I found every parameter I could, the compression, the gain, the type of gain, cranked all of it up in an attempt to get as much distortion as I possibly can, and the results are not pretty. They're not good at all. And it's actually one of the reasons why it took a little longer for me to actually work on this track, because I ended up having to write around what the SGX was capable of doing, whereas, you know, being able to formulate a song or formulate a structure based on whatever I was feeling. So this was one of those things where I had to work within the parameters of the SGX. Again, as far as the chain goes, guitar, SGX, SGX straight into the computer. And all I did with this one is I brought in, again, some more impulse responses and a bit of EQ work just to kind of clean everything up. You will hear a little bit of reverb. The reverb is coming from an external reverb that's from, I believe it's the Manny M. Other than that, all the signal is just straight SGX. So let's just go ahead and take a listen. That is the heaviest distortion I could possibly conjure on the SGX. It's incredibly light on the distortion. So let's go ahead and let's listen to the rhythm guitars without the plugins. I'll even take off the reverb as well. And now this is going to be the guitars with zero effects on my end. So moving on, let's take a look at the lead guitar tracks. So the lead guitar tracks are based on the SGX's first preset, which I believe is called the Mother Lode. Now, I've done absolutely nothing to this preset. I haven't changed the effects levels or anything. The only thing that I have done is, again, I've added Le Cab and a little bit of EQ. And let's just go ahead and take a listen to how it sounds by itself. Alright, time out. Gotta pause the video here for a second. The one thing I didn't bring up in the video is the absurd amount of parameters that are within the SGX. There are so many parameters for every single preset. For example, the Mother Lode preset, which was used for the lead channels, I believe it's got seven individual effects on it. And that's prior to even going into the interface, into the computer. I believe for the clean channel, the clean channel had 7 parameters as well. Your delays, your choruses, it's even got acoustic environment simulators. There's a lot to cover in the SGX. With that being said, back to the video. Okay, so let's take a listen to it without the Le Cab and without the additional EQ. It's like nails on a chalkboard. There we go. Ah, it's horrible. There you have it. This is the entire mix minus the bass, and I probably put way too much effort into working with this. Hopefully you guys get some ideas out of it. So, alright, there you go, guys. That was my video demonstration of the ART SGX T2. I will be releasing the full song in a separate video, just as one of those things to kind of put out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something about the SGX. Maybe it's something that you would want to invest in. Maybe it's something that you want to avoid. In my opinion, I would avoid it unless you really wanted a external effects unit. If you can find one with the corresponding X15 programmable foot switch, and if it's within a reasonable price range, I'd go for it. Why not? Using the SGX as a standalone preamp, though, no, I would pass on that. Yeah, there's way better options that are out there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And also, I'm on other social media platforms as well, so you can find those links down below.